Thank you for tuning in. You're now tuned into my podcast, Difficult People Chronicles. I'm seriously focused Johnnie SF Johnnie. Today is a Q&A interracial relationship. I'm so angry at myself right now. Not really angry, but pissed. I started recording. I did 30 minutes in, and the stupid thing wasn't even turned on. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Anyway, this is a Q&A interracial relationship. Like I said before, many times, I go to God and ask Him what I should talk about for the week. Because if I try to go off of what I want to do, it's like the subject will hit me in a book. I could be looking at a billboard. I could be watching the news. Somebody will say something, and I'll be like, oh, you know what? Let me just, yeah. And there's been times that I recorded a specific episode, and then just like that, God came to me and was like, nope, nope, nope. So what came to me was interracial relationship, and this was when I was in the shower, and I said, there was some information coming to me, but then I said to myself, don't I have that question in my inbox somewhere? So then when I searched, and I found it. So this question has been out for a long time in my inbox. So I'm letting whoever know that I'm reading your email and your name begins with an E. SF Johnnie, the world seems to have an issue with interracial relationships, but I want to believe that is not my case with my relationship. My lady is African American. We have a couple months of official status. We seem to be adored both by her family and mine. She is herself when we're together, but I notice that she acts differently among my relatives. She okays everything around them, and that agitates me. For instance, when my mother asked her if she would like something to eat when we stopped by my parents' place last week, she responded, no thank you. When we went home, she killed the refrigerator. How do I approach her about this situation? When you're in a relationship, they always say things like, the person that you with should be your best friend. I'm a firm believer in that. The person you're with should be your best friend. And you're a man, so approach her with love and kindness. And I say that because sometimes when men want to sit down and like, look, we need to have a talk, it's harsh. It's like, look, we need to have a talk. You know what I'm saying? Talk to her with love and kindness like she's your best friend, but have the heart-to-heart conversation with her. What came to me was, I feel heavily like she's pressured because of your relationship. I don't think it's the family. I think it's friends. Friends could be rude. They're saying things. And it could be one friend. I don't know. Might be more. Could be one. But it could be one statement, one slogan, one something that a person could say to another person that plants a seed in their head. Could be in a whole conversation talking about, let's say, ice cream, just an example. And it's like, oh, I feel for chocolate ice cream. And then one of the friends may say something like, oh, now you want to be part of you want chocolate, like you got vanilla, but now you all interested in chocolate, stupidness. So you just gotta find out. You gotta have the heart-to-heart conversation and ask her if she's feeling like she's being pressurized. Because not only that, the same people that come around and try to pressure a person about their relationship is the same ones that's miserable in theirs or don't have one. Or every time they get in a relationship don't last a whole week. It's just over. And people always want to say that people should date within their race. They always say that. But it's not about what people say. It's about what God has for you. That's all I'm going to say. It's about what God has for you. Everybody in this world ain't evil. People got to live their life. And these are the questions that, or situations that came in my head when I was in my shower and taking my shower. Is this her first interracial relationship? Some people get into interracial relationships. Some people get into a relationship for the first time, period. Like, in their whole entire life. They could be 30 and it's their first real relationship, and then they just mess up because they just don't know how to be themselves. And it happens. It happens. I don't know me. I could be a mush when it comes to romance. I do read romance novels. I do watch romance movies and things like that. So I still think that some things exist, you know, and I'm happy for her because I kid you not. There's a lot of men out there. I could tell you. I met one of them the other day, and the game is getting old. People are not playing anymore. People are not playing that game anymore. Some people wasn't playing to begin with, but now they just tired. Number two, she might be afraid to mess up because of stereotype. There's stereotypes that say all black women such and such and such, and we get stereotyped by the black man heavily. Then you get stereotyped by your friends, like when you're in an interracial relationship or whatever the situation is. You'd be surprised. And that would and my question, like I said, would be, what do her friends say about you two? You gotta answer that question and ask her to be honest, because I feel like it's coming from friends. But part of me feels like it's her friends that ain't got nobody. So it's somebody in her camp that ain't got nobody. They ain't got nobody. Yeah, that's what I feel. Number four, when people get into something new or what they ask for, it's almost like they hit the lotto. So they don't know how to handle the situation. You're gonna have to just tell her to be herself. And then this one is a big one. If this is not her first interracial relationship, sometimes it could be that past relationship that was interracial planted a seed in her head, meaning that person was all sorts of wrong. Having a checklist saying, oh, you need to be like this and this and this and that. Because you, believe it or not, you have some people that date people just to show other people that their relationship can work, or to make the other party that they broke up with jealous. And you'll be surprised. So that's a question you will have to ask her. Because you got some men that come with a checklist. Oh, she can't wash dishes in cold water. She can't wear a scarf to bed, even though if she don't wear a scarf, her edges come off. She can't wear braids, even though she probably part African and she probably get her hair done every 2 and 3 weeks, so her hair is always fresh. But no, she can't wear braids. She can't believe in God, even though she grew up believing in God. You got some people that would tell you that you got to go to a particular church. For example, maybe the person grew up as a Baptist, but then met someone that's Pentecostal, and they want that person. They say, "Oh no, you could go to a Baptist church. I'm cool with that. Such as long as we believe in God." But then they try to sway them to go to the Pentecostal church, and then the people at the Pentecostal church don't even like the person. That's a true story. Trust me. Or a checklist that says they want to date a person with no kids, and the person they meet has no kids, but then that person with the checklist got a whole heap of problems, and the person that don't have kids is like, this is not going to work, and then that person's a narcissist, and anything can happen. Yeah. Or you have a man that says, I want to meet a woman who swings on a pole, and homeboy can't even roller skate nor do a split. He don't even go to the gym and work out. How about that? But they come with a checklist. And I'm not going to be one-sided, because women come with a checklist too. You have some women that say things like, oh, I'm quite sure y'all heard of it before. I want a man with 6 figures. And homegirl don't even have 2 figures. She don't even have a job. She stay borrowing money that she can't pay back. Anyway, your girlfriend she had a relationship in the past that was like that, and now she's in a relationship that is more real to her, and it's feeling strange. It gets like that sometimes. It does. When a person is used to dating trash and they get with a good person and the relationship starts to take flight, in the beginning it feels not normal. It's kind of like when you come from a broken family and then you step into another family that's whole, and they greet you and they talk and laugh and communicate. In the beginning it feels not normal. You need to have the hard conversation with her. I feel like this is a hard conversation to have that should not be hard, but it is best to have it now than later. hmm Let's talk about the problem I have, though. The problem I have, even though it wasn't part of your question, but I'm gonna say it anyway because it goes in there somewhere, some kind of how. The problem I have is when people don't date what they prefer because of society. I'm gonna say it again. People do not date what they prefer because of society. You have, and I saw this growing up. You had a lot of black men that prefer light skin and white, but they went out on dates with black, and the black woman is what they brought home, but they really preferred white. The problem I had with that is that you wasted people's time, you lied, and you hurt people. Karma always has a way of coming back, some kind of how. You really need to date who God has for you, and really not what you prefer, because it's not about you. But if you're gonna go with your ego, and this is for those that's out there, if you're gonna go with your ego, don't waste people's time by doing otherwise. If you're not gonna go after what God wants you to have, and you want to satisfy society, you wrong on all levels. And stop lying to yourself. And stop feeling like you need to be with whomever to please whoever, because then that means you're a people pleaser. Work on yourself in the beginning so you do not waste people's time, because I'm telling you, karma will come back. And also punishment. Yup, punishment. Punishment hurts. When God start punishing people, please, God will sit there and make your whole life crumble and make you stand there and watch. Yep, that's a problem I have. I have a problem with that. And I don't care about society when they say things like, oh, you should think about that person's feelings. What about the other person that they hurt? What about that person? People got to live in their truth. And that's one of the reasons why I say that for you, E, I'm going to call you E, you need to have the conversation with her and find out if she really wants this relationship. Yeah, you need to know now before it's too late. Because sometimes you have some people, I don't feel it's her, but I'm going to say it. You have some people that feel like if they get into the relationship and get vested, that they're going to be missing out on the single life. Let me tell you, the single life is starting to be old, in a sense where you got too many people out there playing games. Too many people living down low. Too many people doing too much for no reason. Too many people having like they don't have no home training. You date them, it's fine. Everything is good. Families meet each other. Everybody mingle. The moment they move in, they act like they never lived nowhere. And that's when you get married. You get married and then they act like they don't live nowhere. Like they just messy. And then every time you say something, it's an argument. Instead of two people trying to work together under the same roof. You need to have the conversation with her if this is the relationship that she wants. Because here's another thing. You have some people that they just want to date for the rest of their life. So they don't want their relationship to progress. They want to just be boyfriend and girlfriend forever. That's not godly. I'm sorry. It's not. So you got to find out where she's at mentally. But I feel like I said, what came to me heavily is somebody saying something. And it could be that one word or that little somebody saying that one little statement, throwing shade or saying something. And that might be that one person she gonna have to drop as a friend. But I feel like it's on her side. And it could be somebody that's not even racist or whatever the situation is. It could be just that person just don't want to see her happy. And sometimes you might just have to help her figure that out. Because when people don't talk about what's going on inside their heads, you'd be surprised. It's just all sorts of thoughts going on. And this is what I want everybody to understand, not just you. I could tell you three women who dated within their race, culture, and everything for years, kept getting hurt. One hurt situation after another. One dated black men, dated within her culture, all that other stuff, and kept getting hurt. And then the one time she went out with a white man, she ended up marrying him, and that relationship been working ever since. You got another person who was in her 40s when she met her husband. Always dated black men. Didn't know how to treat her. She had her stuff together. She worked for a great firm. She had her house, her bills, everything was in order. But the men didn't know how to treat her. And there was nothing wrong with her. And she was beautiful. Got with a white man, and then within less than a year they got married, had a whole heap of kids. You got a black man who I said three women, sorry. Two women and one man. A black man who he's just a nerd. He's a nerd. But a lot of black women wanted that gangster type of guy. He was around all sorts of events, meeting different women. Some wanted, like I said, that guy that was gangster. Some wanted a man that was like a Bill Gates, that's like a billionaire. And he got tired. And the one relationship that he did get into in the beginning caused him pure hell. And when he wasn't looking, he ran into somebody white that was a geek just like him. And she's such a geek, I can't even talk about half the things she talk about all day because I get bored. But yeah, they find each other interesting. They work for each other. They've been together ever since. And I'm not saying that everybody should get into an interracial relationship. What I'm saying is that you got to ask yourself, what do God prefer? It's really not what you prefer, it's what God prefer. But I have a problem when guys are stuck in their ego and they go after what they prefer, and then when they find something that they want, even though that person is not suitable to their checklist, they try to become a narcissist and change that person. That's not gonna work. No, you gotta go after what God wants. And it was something else I wanted to say, I don't know, but have the conversation with her, because it needs to be had now than never. I have a friend that waited too long to have a conversation in his relationship about something that was going on. That relationship caused him misery, like beyond days. Like it was days, months, and years of misery. And now that he's at peace, women think he gay. And he's not. He's just been through some things. So the other day when he said, oh, let's all go out for drinks, and he paid for everybody, women were shocked. Because it was like 3 women at the table plus him, and then it's just he paid for everybody, and they were shocked. And I say ain't nothing wrong with him. He's just been through something. But he's always like that. Even if he invites people over his house, he's gonna cook like a lot. That's who he is. That don't mean he wanna go to bed with you. He's just a man. He's a grown man with morals and values. He's just been through something. But his problem is that had he addressed the situation early on, he wouldn't have a story to tell. So that's it. Just have the conversation with her, because what came to me is that, like I said, somebody saying something or doing something, and whatever it is manifesting in her head. So that's it for today. Sign up for a session. Go to my website, seriouslyfocusedjohnnie.com. Check out my email. For suggested topics, email me. Put in the subject box, topic. Check out my store. The downloadable document, Your Money Matters Part 1, is on my website. Get your copy. And check me out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, smash the notification. Love me more and I love you more. Have a blessed week. Later.